Good morning, Kings. Welcome back to EMU Talk Bros. I'm Tim Bonk, aka Rip Bonk.
And I'm Rookie, aka Brandon. You can call me whatever you like, I guess.
And today we're going to tell you guys about some tournaments.
Yeah, we kind of talked about the club as a whole yesterday, or not yesterday, but last time we talked about this. So we figured a good next segment to jump into would be what's top level look like? Like what are the majors like? What are the majors?
Yeah, that's like looking at your random flag football league, but then this is like looking at the Super Bowl here. This is the peak of performance, the tip of the top, and those are what's known as major tournaments. And they're pretty much all over the country. They're mainly, I guess the drawing factor of them is that all of the top players are going to be at them, or at least most of them are going to be at them.
Definitely. No matter who you're facing at a major, you cannot sleep on them because that's where professionals, you're going to see top level professionals at their peak, gaming it up. And the atmosphere is really crazy, man. You could cut the tension with a knife.
Basically. Just imagine the top guy at your weekly, and now there's one from every weekly in every other city there. There's so many of the local top dogs all coming to that. And also, the real PGR players, the top X amount of players as a whole, are pretty commonly present there too.
Definitely.
So that's what makes it pretty impressive.
In order to make it onto the PGR, you have to go to these super majors and you have to place extremely well. So all of these people, they're taking top 48 because there's 50 of them.
Yeah, and consistently too.
Consistently, yeah. And it's kind of crazy. A lot of these people, they're top players, but we still don't exactly know how the matches would play out. For example, Nairo could go against Shutan, and Shutan is, in this light, seeded to win. But if Nairo and Shutan have never played before, which I think they have, but still, anyways.
All we have is their statistics to make an educated prediction as to what it would be.
Exactly. Not all of these people have played one another, so it's very interesting to see, especially because they're the top players of their character.
Yeah, exactly.
These are the best people in the world at their craft. It's incredible.
That's what makes it so sick. But the PGR as a whole is just a ranking of the top 100, right? 100 players.
I think it's 100
globally. Yeah, and these are top 50 actually. Yeah, top 50. Whoops.
We crazy.
But these are the top 50 globally that you will see pretty consistently in the top 8 of majors. So when you go to spectate at one of these or you're watching a stream for it, almost all the time top 8 is just going to be pretty much filled with names that are appearing on this list here.
And if they don't, if somebody's in top 8 at a major and they don't show up on this list, you're going to hear about them.
Yeah, it's that's an anomaly.
Who's that guy? There's a kid who came out of nowhere and bodied a pro. Actually, I think it was Bochy. Remember when Bochy beat Ally and everybody was freaking out? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, and majors are also really cool areas as well because the tension is so palpable. People play way better than they normally do.
It's insane.
It's crazy to see how many people can make crazy upsets,
Yeah, absolutely. Plus with major tournaments too, another huge aspect of it is just how many games are going to be going on. They get literal thousands of people to enter in these tournaments, have pools for people making it into the main double elimination bracket. So if you go to one of these, you're going to be playing against people you've never played against before, almost guaranteed. And if not, then tell someone and they'll seed you differently.
Exactly. Or just move to one setup off to the left.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's so many setups too there. They have upwards of 50, 60 setups at these bigger events.
Yeah,
and
very, very well run.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so with the PGR there, one of the main draws of the major is the people who are on here. But even within your area too, for us within the state of Michigan, we still have a power ranking for the state as a whole. Mm-hmm. And one of the drawing factor of larger tournaments here, which would typically be called regional tournaments or monthlies too, are going to be that the top players from your region or state as a whole are going to be there too. So here's a little list of in Michigan specifically, top 15 players.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the guys you're going to be looking out for either sometimes at your weeklies, but a lot of time at monthly tournaments when the turnout's in the hundreds or so.
Oh, definitely. And these people have been up here for like quite an amount of time, I would say.
Yeah,
actually.
A lot of them you can see on the Smash 4 power rankings as well.
Dilster was actually I overheard that he was like the number 3 player on 3DS before he like moved to Wii U. Yeah.
Shout out to 3DS,
dude.
That's what
that takes
I
like true
3DS.
dedication. Like, oh man. But yeah, normal names to see on there's Noto, Daybreak, Goma Kenpie. Goma Kenpie is like crazy. He's so good.
Yeah.
Like it blows my mind every time I like play against him. He gets so much better every time. Zagu's really good. Advo, everybody on here is like really, really consistently good. Yeah. Consistently placing in that top 8 at those larger events.
Pretty much the metrics a lot of the time. Not 100% based on it, but if someone's in top 8 at major stuff, global PR, but then when you're up in your top 8 at monthlies or regionals
or even locals,
even locals too, a lot of the time the person who's winning those pretty consistently is going to be on the state PR. So definitely try to familiarize yourself with these names here, and keep an eye out for them if you're watching any Michigan streams or going to any of the bigger regional tournaments.
Definitely. And another thing, for a tournament to be PR eligible, they need to have at least 32 entrants, and it has to have an entry fee of, I believe, like $5 or $10 altogether. I think with $5 entry, $5 venue.
Yeah, there's a standard for it, but that's a lot of what determines that in order for a player to be active enough to be on the PR. But yeah, bouncing back though to major tournaments, we actually are lucky enough living in Michigan specifically, but also in the Midwest, that we have some pretty near to us in our region. The most notable one to us probably would be Frostbite coming up really soon. It's coming up really fast.
Go to Frostbite.
Please register for Frostbite. I'm registered. You're registered. Yeah, and it's taking place in Detroit. February, I think like the 3rd weekend of February. It's going on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's going to be crazy. Like the last Frostbite was a really big event. It turned out to be what most would consider to be a super major.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And there's truly like a great feeling to it because like everybody goes there. You go, you play until you drown in pools, and then naturally you get wasted at the bar.
Theoretically,
it's theoretically
if you're of age, of course.
Yes. No, but like they're very fun environments to be in, and it's really cool that they have a 24-hour friendlies room.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a big selling point for me, man.
Yeah, it's not always just like how well you're gonna do yourself in the tournament, but also just the tournament environment itself too.
Absolutely.
This Frostbite's gonna be a great opportunity for anyone who's not been to a major before to immerse yourself in that, because they're gonna have vendors. You can go, deck out your custom controller and stuff. Look at all the sweet art people bring through.
Definitely.
There's gonna be tons of opportunities for friendlies with people not even from your region that you've probably never even seen before at a regional tournament, and probably you'll never see again. Exactly. And just spectating too is on another level when you're at a major. Yeah. Like it's one thing to be in the stream popping off in the chat or whatever, but when you're actually at the event and you're able to spectate for grand finals and stuff.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Michigan crowds are like really rowdy too.
Yeah,
like, we have quite the we are the reason that there's a crowd microphone so that you can hear people. I remember them saying that during the last Frostbite.
Yeah, it makes it hype. It's hype.
It's really cool. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so definitely try to register for that if you're available. It's only I think right now it's $60 for the venue, $10 for each bracket that you're in. But try to commit. Register to that. If you're over at Eastern, we'll get you to the tournament and back. I promise. It'll cost you nothing. Just register.
And honestly, like $60 sounds like a lot to shell out on one tournament, but you got to keep in mind that $60 is good for the entire event.
It's a 3-day event. Yeah. Like if you were going to a convention or whatever,
it's basically that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a convention but for Smash, and you're playing in it, so
it's sick. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, make sure you come for that. I'll put a link in the description. Check it out.
And side events too.
Side events, yeah. Little brackets they'll cost a lot less. And if you're interested in looking at it more at all, just go on YouTube too and look at the VODs from the last tournament.
Definitely.
Get an idea of what the environment's like. It's awesome. Another one that started more locally to us, the Big House, originated in Ann Arbor. It's ran by some of the Ann Arbor TOs and stuff, but Big House also takes place in Detroit. This one takes place in the fall, whereas Frostbite's in the early winter. Another sick annual tournament.
Definitely. And sometimes Nintendo also like throws us bones. You can see right here on the screen that they're playing a demo of Smash Ultimate.
Yeah,
that's actually a
that's so
picture
cool.
from the previous Big House, when the last one that Smash 4 happened in.
Exactly.
Yeah, so like at these major tournaments, sometimes like big companies step up and they like, I believe Cup Noodles sponsored.
Yeah, there's some cool sponsorships.
Yeah, yeah.
Even when I went to a regional before, I went to one at in Champaign, Show Me Your Moves. They had free Red Bull there because they had a
Yeah,
Red Bull sponsorship. Like, it's really cool how big of an event this is and a spectacle as a whole.
Definitely.
Another of the draws of Big House too is they'll have like both Ultimate and Melee, so there's so much more to spectate. I think 64 too. They have a bracket
Oh, yeah.
for that. All sorts of stuff you can watch. You can watch doubles. So like Big House, another great spectator one. Melee Gang would definitely be very excited for it, and it's coming up in October. So once the school year starts coming around again, save up your money over summer, work your summer job, save it up, and then Big House coming up soon.
Pre-register too. Pre-registering, like Frostbite's at like $60 right now, only
Mm-hmm.
because it's like a couple months out. Further
Right.
out in advance, like I've gotten entry to majors as low as like $20, $30 before.
Yeah, that can be a huge draw. And one more of the Midwest Super Majors, I guess, it would probably be called is Full Bloom too, which takes place in Indiana, so a little bit farther from us. We're very lucky to be able to have 2 Super Majors in the region.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, Full Bloom too, also a really big one. The VODs for this one, also on YouTube, they're sick. Wobbling's banned, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Man, they banned wobbling. This is a real tournament. Like this is a smash.
This
smash
is actual competition. No, none of that cheese.
And 24-hour venue, man. I can't get over that. That's the biggest selling point for me, because like if I can wake up at 3 in the morning and go downstairs and play Smash, I'm in. I'm there.
That's the way to live.
And there's a lot of people there too. Like,
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely try to connect with some players, either in Smash Discords or anything. Just let them know. You can get carpools going. Everyone can make sure we can get there and get back. And even though Indiana is a couple hours away and stuff, like it's still a great
commute.
opportunity.
It's a commute, but it is an opportunity, and it only happens once a year.
Exactly. And yeah, this one coming up in March. So a little bit after the Frostbite high wears off, you can go straight into another one.
Definitely. And another big reason to go out to these events is to support them, because without the attendees coming from out of state, sometimes they have like carpool incentives, like they'll give you extra money for like driving very far. But like without those players going from out of state, coming in and all that, they wouldn't really have.
That's what really makes it the major experience. It's not just our Indiana PR comes out and wrecks everyone, takes their money again, but we're inviting players from other regions, other states' PRs and stuff to come in and make this big spectacle of an event.
So that way they can take
bring
their
in,
money.
Yeah, we get great production value, everything.
Definitely.
Our stream's sick, it's popping off. We got an awesome venue. It's just a whole nother experience, and definitely I would encourage you guys to register for Frostbite, if nothing else, just so you can sort of immerse yourself fully in at least what the top level of Smash is like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but the next best thing to that, as we mentioned before when we were talking about our state PR and stuff, monthlies and regionals. Another great opportunity. They're also going to, a lot of the time, have like dedicated friendly setups, really nice. Sometimes vendors will come in for them, but I mean, the state PR pretty much always is going to be present at these.
Definitely. I mean, in order to qualify for state PR, you have to go to a set amount of the monthlies and stuff like that. I mean, not to mention, the monthlies are the tournaments that are going to have the higher payouts, the pot bonuses, the extra $500 for first through third place,
and a lot of them are able to also experiment even with some more regular bracket structures too, so you can sometimes have pools for those, get in some more experience before you go into the top 64 or whatever if you're lucky enough to make it. But just to highlight a few of these that are in our area, we have Wolverina. Not necessarily a monthly right now, but it's a regional tournament. It was a really good experience. I got to go to that. Drowned in pools, of course, but it was really cool. There's a lot of friendlies and a lot more players, even from West Michigan and stuff, that came through to that I would never have had the opportunity to play with if they weren't coming through to this regional event. And Ann Arbor, not too far away, and still not even that expensive. I think it cost me $15 to register for that, and that's totally worth it for a bigger experience in another tournament. We also have a holiday heist coming up too on the 28th here at the end of the year. So if anyone's still looking to register, I'll definitely drop a link for that in the description too. But keep an eye out for that one. That one's over 100 entries. They have I know there's a ton of stuff going on for that with like bounties on
Yeah,
higher
yeah.
ranking players and stuff, and there'll be a 6th stream, but it's another great opportunity to branch out of just your weekly and start getting to intermingle with players from other regions, get in some more games like that.
For sure. That's honestly, like, networking in Smash is, like, one of the most important things, because, like, you're only going to become a stronger player if you have stronger players to play with, you know?
Absolutely.
And the best places to find those are going to be at the monthlies, at the regionals, because you know the top players have to be there. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
They can't run away. No.
They can't run away.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Also, one more thing that Brandon was actually telling me about, too. World 8.
Yeah, so World 8 is weekly, or it's not like a weekly, it's like a more regional event that they've recently come out with. Basically, so it's going to be a regional event with both main bracket and amateur bracket. So
amateur bracket is so nice.
Yeah, and bracket, think of the page 3 bracket that we did like a while back. It's a lot like that.
It's pretty easy to explain. Just everyone who gets knocked out in the first like round or the second round gets to enter a whole nother bracket.
Definitely.
Which gets ran independently on its own. So everyone who gets knocked out early, they're not getting ripped off. They still have another opportunity to get in some more bracket experience.
Yeah.
And
it overall makes it a more friendly experience for those who don't really play competitive that much or who are like newer to the scene.
But also a more valuable experience.
Absolutely,
too. So you're getting more experience to, you know, maybe make it to top 8, maybe make it to best of 5 sets. So you're not just coming in, I 102 again. You actually have a more value added to just your entry fee and venue fee just because you're getting that other AM bracket itself.
Yeah, and they have food and drink at the venue. They have unlimited beverage they set on there. So I mean, I think that's really cool. I'm huge into drinking water. Only water.
Never soda, definitely.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, no, they got food, they got drinks, they have AM bracket. Venue is I think it's like, let me see really quick actually. I believe it's like $5 for
let's
$10
pull it up.
for entry, $10 for venue.
Yeah, that's not bad at all, and that is coming up soon. We'll definitely have a link to this too, but it'd be a really good way to start off the new year as well with another nice little regional. I'm sure it'll be a real sick time, but yeah, look at that. It goes all the way, whole 9 hours of being able to play.
Oh yeah.
That's a ton.
That's a ton. I mean, you don't have to be playing throughout that entire time, but like if you wanted to, the option's there.
Yeah,
That's what I like about it, you know? Like you could just sit down with random people, play Smash, and there are just so many people there that are into the exact same thing that you're into.
Yeah.
It's a really cool time.
It's awesome. And I guess the last thing we should go over is weekly events. And I mean, if you're watching this, you probably have already at least been to the Eastern weeklies, but there's other ones in the region too, and you know, so you can see here all the different days that they're on. So maybe if you have an extra day, like you have a Friday open, you have a Tuesday open or whatever, it can be a great experience just going to someone else's weekly regional. Like a couple weeks ago, we got to branch out and go to Wayne State's weekly. We brought a bunch of Eastern people there, and it was awesome because we got to intermingle with them some. We got seated in their bracket, so we played against people we hadn't played with before, for most of us at least. And it's just really cool to get more experience against people who you haven't played week after week. But it's also, you know, good to be able to go and play with the same guys you do play, just your weekly, you know?
Right, yeah. And you know, that kind of goes hand in hand with like what I was saying earlier, like, you know, playing more different people, that's the best way to, you know, grow as a player.
Yeah, and weeklies, they're crazy consistent. You can usually get some good bracket experience in them. Sometimes they run AM brackets. There's always going to be friendlies there, so just definitely start going to weeklies if you have one by you. And some ones to highlight on here, we got the Vista Tech those in
That's up top,
Livonia on Mondays. So I think you've gone to some of those before.
Yeah, you know, they've been pushing around like 30 entrants, I think, like per weekly. I haven't been there in like
and that's
a hot
really
minute.
Respectable for a pay to enter weekly. So.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, that one, I would say Vista Tech those is one of the like most like, I don't know, there are a lot of people there who are more willing to like help people who are like newer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's tons of people there.
That adds a ton of value. If you're going to go to, that you'll at least be able to get something valuable out of the experience. Yeah. We got another one by us is the Ann Arbor Arena. On Fridays, we have a lot of people from Eastern going to those, so if you're looking for carpools and stuff, hit us up. It's always a good experience too. They have a real nice stream. There's tons of setups. They always bring a lot of setups, which is a game changer in my book. And every once in a while they'll run AM brackets and stuff too. It's really not that expensive. It's $5 if you bring a setup, and it's a good way to fill your Friday night if you're just trying to play some Smash. And I know Smashfield is that on here?
Smashfield Weeklies.
Yeah,
right here.
there we go.
That's in Northville.
Yeah, in Northville on Thursdays. Another good one you can add to your weekly calendar if you have a Thursday free, or if you're trying to link up with some other local Smashers in your Discord or whatever to get a card going out there. And then, excuse me, two other ones aren't on our list, but two local college ones. EMU's weeklies. They're on Wednesday nights. They're in Ypsilanti. Check out our Discord in the description if you're trying to figure out how to get connected with us and start coming to our weeklies. I run the streams for that. They're tight. If you get far in a bracket, you will absolutely be on
They're
there.
tight.
We have no entry fee, so I mean, obviously not Michigan PR eligible and stuff, but it's just great as far as the school club goes. You can watch our last video if you want to find out a lot more about our tournaments.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I go so much into depth on those. And also, Wayne State has their own weekly tournament too. That happens on Thursdays. It's at their campus. We have some of their members in our Discord too, and we like to go out to those on Tuesdays as well when we have the free time. So that's just yet another great way to branch out.
I mean, yeah.
Start playing more actively.
The Smashfield Weeklies, too, like, if you're going to make it to... If you can only make it to one weekly out of the week, I would almost argue Smashfield Weekly is going to be the most critical.
I mean,
other than EMU. Like, outside of EMU.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Smashfield is where most of... That's, like, the premier local for Michigan. Like, that's where everybody goes that, wants to say hi.
All the up and coming.
Exactly.
All the up and coming figures. Yeah.
You're like, I am insert tag here. This is what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. And another just great thing to always do, get in your local Smash group chat, Discord, whatever. Find people going to these. It's easy to find carpools. It's a great experience. Just make sure you don't get seated against the person who brought you, and you're good.
Yeah.
But it'll definitely be a good time. You should hopefully get some replays to review, get some experience, get to know some other players in the area, and get some more experience. But yeah, going to tournaments is a must if you're trying to be in the competitive scene.
Definitely.
You can always go and spectate too if you just want to get a feel for them. Everyone will be happy to welcome you there, and it's just a great time. And I would highly encourage you to come to ours too, especially come get to know us at Eastern. It's a good time, I can assure you.
It's a very good time.
And yeah.
And even spectating events can like get you to be able to play the game at like a higher level too.
Mm-hmm.
Hackaroo is one of the players from Leap of Faith. He played in Smash 4. I'm not too sure if he does like too much stuff in Ultimate, but he was a notable player in Smash 4. He's a Mario player. He played Brawl like casually, but like in the competitive scene, but not competitively for like 4 years or so, and then he gets into Smash 4 and he's just bodying everything.
That's crazy.
Because like he showed up to like all these tournaments, he didn't enter, but I mean he still played the friendlies,
Yeah, definitely. It's just farming friendlies. A lot of melee players I know do that, and I'm sure Ultimate players do too. But yeah, they're always going to be open setups, always opportunities to come play friendlies, and then maybe later on when some of the even better players get knocked out of bracket, you can get in some matches with them too. So there's always going to be opportunities to play with someone better than you. So that's great. But yeah. That's pretty much all we got to say about tournaments. We should start talking about footstools in a minute here. But yeah, there's going to be tons and tons and tons of links in the description to all kinds of these local ones. Definitely just check out the Michigan Smash Ultimate one, mainly. That's where they post all of it.
If you have a Facebook, get on the Michigan Smash Ultimate Facebook page, because everything we're explaining here is like said a million times over.
Yeah, it's all laid out for you there, and you'll get updates as soon as new ones are on the way and stuff. It's the way to go.
Super helpful.
Yeah. Screw Facebook, but if you have a Facebook, that's where you should go. Yeah, you may as well use it.
When in Rome, eat pizza, or whatever they say.
Eat it. All right. And now, we'll start looking at the new Epic Footstool tech in a little bit. Thanks.